The price action today has been absolutely insane. I'm going to show you guys a losing trade. That's right. I took a losing trade. We got off the stream. My power went out. My power went back on. I thought a really good short opportunity. I thought it was going to be, I was like, hey, this is everything we want. We're looking for a 10 handle move down. We're going to risk 3 or 4. Everything was set up. I'm going to show you guys a trade. It went against me. We got stopped out. It's part of it. We take losses. As a day trader, we win, we lose. We win, we lose. The goal is obviously to make sure that our winners are bigger than our losers. And today was definitely a difficult day of a lot of just crazy price action up, down, all around. And showing you guys that I do have losers. I do have losing trades, and how I manage those losing trades by making sure that my losers are not larger than my winners and making sure that I stop out. It's part of it. We put our stop at a key level. We get stopped out. We look for the next opportunity. Currently short here from the 65s and looking for a move down there. I'm basically looking for 50s or lower. I think is very doable here. So I think there's a good possibility of trying to pull this thing down into the 50s now. I'll show you the SPY chart in a second, but just want you to see my entry here at 65, 50, looking for this break below 64, and then we can start to waterfall to the downside here. And I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at with the SPY chart. So we kind of had this bear flag. We pushed up into that VWAP there. So as long as we can stay below the VWAP here, I think we can kind of move back down to that pivot point and then try to hit that low down here in the 390s on the SPY. So this is kind of my idea to short the ES as the SPY is hitting that VWAP there. We got the 63 pivot point as well, acting as support right now on the ES. But as long as we can stay below the VWAP here on the SPY, I think we can move down there and get below, or 391, get below 391 on the SPY, below that pivot point right there. So that's what I'm looking for. We'll see if it happens. But that's my overall thesis, kind of that bear flag here on the SPY chart, getting stuck at that VWAP there, and then looking for that move down below. We get below 63 on the ES here, and then we should start be able to move down again. So 63 pivot, and then there's that 57 VWAP on the ES now. So we just need to basically this move down through here, through the 63s, stop at the 68. So we're risking 3 here for a possible 15 handle move to the downside. I'm gonna move that up just a little bit here. I'm gonna go 70s on this. There's a big seller at 70 on the book map here. So I'm gonna risk a little bit more. I still think there's good potential for this to sell through. So let's just give it a little bit more room just in case they try to mess around. Right now, we're still sitting there below the VWAP on the SPY. So unless we get a candle that pushes up and closes above the SPY, I would stay short here. You can see on the 3-minute chart right now. We go to the 1-minute chart. So basically, we're looking for these candles to keep closing below that VWAP there on the SPY now. We have not gotten it closed there yet. So we'll stay short and we can let this ride. You can see that little fake out up there, 68s again. So I'm going to move my stop back to 68s now that we had that kind of retest of that area. And look to see if we can't get through 64, 63 here, through that pivot on the ES, and then we're going to tap that 57 next, and then we're looking for that move down there into the low 50s here, low 50s. Still respecting the VWAP here on the SPY, so as long as we continue respecting the VWAP there, we'll look for this move down. We got this overall trend. We get that break to the downside here, and it's off to the races. Need to get through this 191.68 area on the SPY. You can see the ES kind of trending higher, but we get through this order block here at the 60s, and then we got that move down here into this next order block at the 48s. So that's why I'm thinking 50s is very doable. If we lose this 60 area, we lose that 57 support off the VWAP, there's that move down there to the 48s pretty quickly. So like pretty much through here, it's right down there to the 48s. Don't want to get stopped out on a fake out to the upside. Look at that VWAP again, reacting there, holding it down. So I'm not going to get stopped out at 63 and then watch this thing plummet back down. So we can get through this 65. Now that my entries now support, you got to love it. On the book map round, we got that sellers at the 70s. So trying to hold it down there still. They're just kind of chopping around at the VWAP right now, middle of the day. Still good. We're still good. As long as we stay below 70, we have not gotten that pushback above the VWAP strong here on the SPY. sitting right there right now. So we're getting tighter and tighter. We got to get this break to the downside, get back below 392 here. Close above the VWAP there. So it's going to let this. Problem right now is on the book map, we got that big seller there at the 70s. So I'm going to let it ride as long as we stay below that 70 level for now. So moving in our favor here, we're still short. We're looking for this move back down. Like I said, I just feel like they're playing with that VWAP there, trying to get people suckered in and getting long above the VWAP there for a second, and then they're going to dump it back down, and we'll see if this plays out. So need to get through the 63 level on the ES. Get through the 63 level. We got to get away from that pivot point there. That SPY chart still looking pretty bearish below the VWAP here, so we can just start selling down there. 391 would be a good target. Get this sell off through there. Just keeps turning my fucking entry into support here. Oh god, you gotta love it. How does that happen? How does my entry turn into support? And possibly getting stopped out here for $700 loss. Let's see, 70s. And stopped out there. The battle's real, my friends. You saw we were basically holding there and then just got pushed back up there. So I'm gonna take the loss there and just walk away. This day has been something else. It's been up, it's been down. I don't know what to do sometimes. I mean, what could we have done different? What could we have done differently? I mean, I think the setup was there. Everything was lined up. Now you look at the chart, everything was kind of lining up for that short there. It still might fucking do it later, but as of right now, let's just take the red. And could I have kept it a little bit tighter? Maybe, but you guys see, I mean, the whole setup was there. We had the move, you know, possible, but like I said, I probably should have gotten out once we got that close. Those candles closing above the VWAP, I should have been like, okay, I'm going to get out here. But, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. We try to kind of think they were going to try to mess around. We had that big seller there at the 70s, and it kind of is what it is. So showing you guys the good, showing you guys the bad here. And like I said, there's not really much that I would want to do differently other than the fact that possibly just kind of seeing that we're holding up there over and over. I probably could have gotten out for a smaller loss or gotten out for break even at that point. But I kind of was like, man, this thing really just looks like it wants to go down here. You know, it just had everything all lining up for the move down. We just couldn't capitalize off that. So showing you guys what happens. You know, we're taking losses, $700 loss, small trade. Not a big deal. We'll survive that, and want you guys to see. You know, I'm showing you the good, the bad. What could I have done differently? Obviously, I think that pushback up was, yeah, I mean, everything was lining up there for a short. So it still might be a short here later. Maybe they'd chop it around for a little bit longer, middle of the day, and then they make that move down. But as of right now, that's the move, and I'm going to go take a lunch break or at least just walk away for a little bit. I think the market has just been absolutely insane today. I mean, every direction, both long, short, look at it, there's that big pop up. So the goal here, you know, the key always is making sure that we're protecting ourselves. We're not taking big losses. A $700 loser, it's not a major loser in the terms of the overall bigger picture of what we've been doing here and showing you guys what it takes. So you have losers. It's part of it. And, well, there, look at the move from a market reversing back up there. So it is what it is. We take profit when we take profit, and we take our stops when we take our stops. So there it is. If you guys haven't hit that like button, subscribe button, all the buttons down below. I'll talk to you guys later on.